Welcome back to the brewing class. And from this point, we've gone over basically everything from starting to learn to brew, brewing your first beer, fermentation, packaging, equipment, ingredients, all of that. Now we're going to start to talk about getting into the brewing industry. Let's say that's your goal, right? You want to get into the brewing industry. You're a young brewer. Maybe you brewed a couple batches at home or mini batches at home, or you're an older brewer, 30 years old maybe. I'm 29 now. I started brewing beer when I was 23, right after college. I got my first brewing job at 24, so I've known friends that started working in the brewing industry at 18. Actually, I had a phone call yesterday with my Canadian friend. I traveled all over Europe with him. He's a head brewer at a 17-barrel brew house. They're killing it right now up in Canada. And now he's only 23. So he's a head brewer there. He's been working in the brewing industry for 5 years, just as long as I have, and I'm 5 years older than him almost, 6 years older than him. So how do you get into the brewing industry? I'll tell you quickly how I did. I was out to lunch one day with some friends, and right across the street was a local brewery. And I just started home brewing about 3 months prior to this. And I went in and I just started talking to the head brewer. He was brewing a beer and I just asked him a couple questions, blah, blah, blah. He gave me some tips like, yeah, if you're looking to get a job, always go in with your resume and a sample of your beer. Okay, cool. And so from that point on, I started going to other breweries and doing that. And anyways, 3 months go by and I just happened to get a phone call from him, asked me, you still looking for a job? Our assistant brewer can't make it in for a couple weeks and we need someone to fill a spot. So yeah, of course. So I go work part-time over there. He teaches me the ins and outs of running that brewery, or not running it, but cleaning fermenters, milling the grain, the process, transferring from fermenters to bright tanks, simple things like that, cleaning the beer lines, super simple stuff, right? I worked there for about 3 months part-time. And then at that point, I started working as a taproom manager. Then I became the head brewer and only employee on payroll at this small brewery, 3-barrel brewery I was running for almost a year with the help of some homebrew club friends. But that's how I got into the brewing industry. But really what helped me the most was home brewing, starting my own little side business revolving around home brewing, where I help home brewers with their water chemistry for brewing beer, as it was called Waters Brewer. And I was also enrolled in Siebel Institute's online brewing course. And people know the name Siebel, and that's the only reason it's truly important. It's simply because of the name. They've been around for 120 years. It's in the early 1900s, they got bought by some Dutch business people or French or Swiss or some fucking Northern European people. And it's more of a business than a platform and a education school to get you into the brewing industry, get you certified. It's more for people who want to get like working at Budweiser or Heineken. It's not for owning your own craft brewery, 14-barrel brew house. It's a little bit higher numbers. You're working with lauter tons and getting specific numbers, blah, blah, blah. It's not the artistic side of brewing. And that's, at the brewing class, we aim for the artistic side. So my number one thing I would say is develop yourself as a brewer. When I look at your resume, I want to see you've done something different than other brewers who are applying for the same job. Why should I pick you? What makes you stand out? Do you have an Instagram account with 1,500 followers? No. Do you have a little side business revolving around brewing? Are you part of a homebrew club? Do you have a leadership role in that homebrew club? How many batches of homebrew have you brewed? Who are your friends or who are your close associates? If I talk with other brewery workers, do they know who you are? Do you know your beer styles? Do you know your off flavors? Can you look at a beer and tell me what kind of style it is, what's off with it just by the look? Things such as that nature. The scientific stuff, it comes and goes. Also very important is your social skills. How social are you? Be a good talker. Be friendly, be funny, be upbeat. Don't be someone who's like, we don't want those people. Be a little quirky. Quirkiness always goes far. But those are a couple little tips and tricks on how to get your first job in the brewing industry. As always, if you have any questions, shoot an email at brewer@thebrewingclass.com. Once again, I'm Ty Stevenson, your educator at the Brewing Class. Until next time, friends. Peace.